Tuesday, park calm. I was like, thank God, Red Rocket's here. Everything's okay. You know, I personally like to get places early. So, you know, I leave Manhattan at like 4 o'clock for a 6:30 flight. Shouldn't have taken me more than an hour to get there, right? So I had an hour and a half time. I don't get to the airport until 5:35. 5 minutes after the hour before you can check bags. Now, let's think about what's in my bag. I'm coming down for a race. I got all my fluids. I got CO2 cartridges just in case I get a flat so I can change it quick. I have wrenches. I got all kinds of stuff. I'll sacrifice it. So I gave up my Allen wrench that I just bought for $12. 2 bottles of Cytomax that I bought. That was like another $10. Bottle of Nesquik, because Nesquik is what? The drink of champions. That's another $3. I gave up my CO2 cartridge, which was $20. They took pliers out of my set. I mean, like, I had matching tools for that, and they took it. That would have been cool, but for the fact that I got off the plane smelling like B.O. Why, you may ask? I do look like a cleanly kind of person. I use right guard. I don't smell. But the guy sitting next to me decided to take a walk through Funk City. This dude sitting next to me reaches up into the overhead compartment, and you know, you catch that whiff of like funk, and you're just like, oh God. I mean, it was in my mouth. It was in my mouth. What really made it bad was when he went to sleep. He was sleeping like this, and I'm sitting next to him, and I was just like, I mean, if you could see, you remember in cartoons when they have wavy lines of funk? That was this dude. So I was just thankful to get off the plane, come to Miami where it's clean. They shot Miami Vice here, so everybody's fresh. Man. So that was my flight, and end of story. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
To actually finish it and finish it in a good time, it's usually the freestyle stroke. In regards to my knee, it's pretty disappointing situation. But last month, I went for a run. It was an 8-mile run. Got to the 6th mile, and again, I'm running at night. And I recall stepping in a ditch, and my knee turned. And the first thing I said to myself was, I know I didn't just do this with a month left before the race, because of instant pain. Next morning, I made a doctor's appointment. Went to the doctor. She actually gave me some relief when she said, you know what, it had nothing to do with the ditch you stepped in. You know what? You have tendonitis. And the doctor literally told me, she said, if it were me, I'd say not do the race. You know, I'd opt out of it and rest, because the repercussions are crucial. You might even need surgery, and you won't be able to do another race. I sat back and I looked at the doctor and I said, you know what? You're not speaking my language right now. So I'll ask the question again. What's the recovery like? And she looked at me and she said, you know what? I won't even answer the question. Just go do the race. Because someone of your mentality doesn't know what it means to quit. Someone of your mentality doesn't understand the definition of impossible. It's my definition of what an Ironman is. A man who doesn't know the meaning of an obstacle. They just know the meaning of the end result. And I refuse. I've come too far. I worked too hard to let a little bit of tendonitis stop me. My knees are really going to have to snap off of me for me to have to quit this race.
So, as I'm kind of getting up to the front, I didn't even exactly know what was happening just because there were so many people. But as I got to the pier, you see that, you know, people are just kind of moving forward and jumping up. And it's almost like the moment of, if you were ever a little kid and gone on a scary roller coaster where you kind of get up to the top and you're all excited, and right when you get to the top and you're about to be the next car, you're like, you know what? Let the next person go. But because in this situation, it's like you're either ready or you're not, and so you kind of just have to go. It was just game time. I was ready to go.
I think that was the one moment that I felt the butterflies, because there was absolutely no turning back then. Zero. It was absolutely impossible to flake at that point. And I thought to myself, this is real. This is it. 10 months have come down to this one moment. Get in the water. Let's do this. I run up the transition and I put my sunglasses on, and I have a very set formula for how I run my bike. I have my helmet, I put food in it, and I put my sunglasses on top of that, so when I get to the bike, I put my sunglasses on, food in my pockets, helmet on my head, take the bike and go. What the hell are you waiting for? I got on the bike, and you're supposed to be on the bike for like 3 hours, so that's a long time. The first hour went by really quickly, too. I had kind of my plan. I was like, every 15 minutes you're going to eat, you're going to drink water, keep going. So I did that throughout the first hour pretty smooth.
Coming out of the transition area, I was super amped. All I could think about was that I just swam 2,000 meters, and when I first started this thing, all I could do was 50. So in the transition area, I just wanted to hydrate, take my time, get on the bike, and then just focus on cranking. The bike was actually pretty interesting because on the way down the course, I was cranking at about 20 miles per hour. And on the way back, I was hit with the crazy headwind. And so much so that at times, I actually had to stand up on my bike to actually keep myself going. And it was actually something I wasn't really prepared for, but I just kind of kept it going and tried to make do.
The pain that I was feeling in my body was really hard to describe. I started really honestly feeling tendonitis in my knee about 10, 15 miles out on the bike. You ask yourself, should you quit? But why? You've come so far. You've trained for so long. And at the same time, I'm thinking about all the naysayers, all the negativity I received in regards to doing this race under the circumstances of my everyday life, being involved as a full-time employee, going to school at night. A lot of people just said, there's no way you're going to do this race. Like, people who train all day can't do this race. I'm sitting here saying, okay, you know what? That second I said to myself, should I quit? I said, hell, why? I'm going to finish this race by any means necessary. It's been a ride.
Most people say you need to race the triathlon 100% for the run. Like, if you don't have a good run, you didn't have a good race. And hey, fair enough, right? Because the run is the hardest part. You're the most tired. It takes up a good amount of time. And you want to make sure you do it strongly and healthily so you don't hurt yourself. As soon as I came out of transition, I was thinking to myself, all right, you know how to run. Give yourself 9 to 10 minute miles. Take it easy, Brian. You got this. You don't need to blow it trying to run too fast. But just find some Gatorade and keep yourself hydrated because it is hot. If I were to go back in time, I would tell myself, Brian, run in the heat. Practice running in the heat and teach yourself how to deal with that. Nutrition, getting salt packets, making sure you have Gatorade. Learn to run with a race belt with water bottles on it, something. Because I think I've said this probably 100 times at this point, but it was hot. And, I have a habit of going into my mind and telling myself, trust your form, draw power from the form. You practice this over and over and over again so you know the motions. So just go through it and put your mind somewhere else. But going over the bridge 8 times up and 8 times down in probably 90-degree heat index weather, form means nothing at that point, and you just have to have the right nutrients in your body before you pass out, which I almost did.
And I felt so dejected because I was like, man, all this training, and I'm like, for this, I've been running and running and running because I know running is hard for me, and I was like, I came out here not wanting the run to beat me. I refused to let the run beat me. And the run itself didn't beat me, but the weather did, and that was something I hadn't trained or planned for very well.
So to do this race, I would say you need 3 boxes checked. First is the mental will. That ability to ignore that little voice in your head that says, this is too much pain, you're tired, listen to your body, why don't you stop? No, I was going to finish this race no matter what. I had that box checked. Second would probably be conditioning. I got my fitness level to a point where I didn't get tired anymore. There's no difference between me running 2 miles and me running 13 miles. It made no difference. What I didn't have checked was the nutrients and supplements box. Dehydration and muscle cramping. That was something that was a huge problem for me on the race. And so, I realized that other athletes had things such as salt packets and Endurolites and other supplements to help combat the muscle cramping. I didn't have any of that.
Just maybe you should wait till your schedule frees up a little bit throughout the day so you can actually train for this thing the right way. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to come home after a full day knowing that you have to tell yourself, all right, it's like 11 o'clock, you work again in the morning at 8, but you need to put in like 3-4 hours of something.
I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand, we'll walk this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Just let me know that you're not alone. Call up if you feel like you've been down the same road.
He's coming in real high. He's coming fast.
This race was hard. It was really hard. And I think there were a lot of obstacles, environmentally, personally, that I had to overcome to actually succeed at this. I'm thankful that I did it, and I look back and I don't regret any moment within the last 10 months of my training. I think during the race, there were times where I was actually happy. I smiled for a lot of the race because I got the chance to see what real preparation can do for you. Even when my bike seat was sinking and I had all these malfunctions with everything you could possibly think of, and even after the race when somebody stole my race cap and goggles, I think it was just good to get through it and know that it was possible. So, for every step I took, every rotation on the bike and every pull on the swim, it was just feeling all the strength that I've built over this time really come out. And I think that I realized that with anything you do, if you prepare, it can be easier than you think.
this is what the task that's before us. There's no getting discouraged based because of what you see in front of you. It's more like more black and white. It's like, okay, well, this is the objective. This is the problem. Or this is what needs to be done. Okay, let's figure out what the plan, what the process, what's the procedure for going on accomplishing it. Simple as that. And breaking it down, yeah, it might suck. Yeah, it might be hard. But it's not impossible. Impossible stuff.
First of all, when I crossed the finish line, my legs, I was trying to do a little bit too much. I was high-fiving on the way in, and my legs cramped up. So I've been dealing with cramps all throughout the run. And so I laid down on the bed, and the guy's like, "You need paramedics?" I was like, "No, I think I'm alright. Come on with me." He reaches out and grabs me, and he's now whisking me away on his shoulder.
This whole experience in regards to my friends doing this race with me, it was like a band of brothers going out there. You think of things like a boot camp or even in like football. You think of a training camp. And rookies come in, you don't really know much about them, but you guys, it's the blood, the sweat, the tears that really goes into every moment. From a distance, communicating with Brian back and forth on emails, it's like motivated us to do so well because he'll send us his times on marathons that he did or half marathons or training sessions, and it's like, man, it's awesome. It's like crushing it. So things like that, especially when I'm feeling a little down or something about the way I've been training, I would see an email from Brian, and he's all the way up in New York, but the connection felt like he was right there next to us, training with us, So that was really awesome. And then, at times when I could get together with Gershon and go on long swims in open water, pool, long runs or bikes, like just honestly, it's really hard to do this alone, and you need that connection. And Brian, Gershon, myself, just being able to communicate every step of the way, months and months, just staying together, motivating each other, pushing each other, really put us in position to walk into this race as a team. Even though it was an individual performance, it felt like we were here as a team because we told ourselves we will finish this race.
Come on!
This is it. This is the moment that made history. I was in so much pain. I'm walking. I almost want to just cry. I'm walking and running. I get around that finish line. The feeling to just cross that finish line and to hear the crowd screaming the congratulations and my knees are on fire. I just don't know what to do. I could barely take the next step. It's just one of those things I feel like I'm going to collapse. crew members trying to help me. I'm trying to get people off. I want my space, but you know, I'm being hard-headed for no reason. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, I did it, and I just did it, and it's a great feeling, but the pain is excruciating, absolutely excruciating, and you know, I kind of feel like that choked up feeling as I'm clutching onto my knee. I'm choking up a little bit, but at the same time, it's one of those things. It's like you gotta kind of smile inside and say, "You did it, man." Under all the things with all the things you went through, and the circumstances, and the pain, you crossed that finish line, and that's something that's a memory that I'll keep in my head forever.